And who is your favourite football team?
Liverpool. Before it was Manchester, but Liverpool now.
Oh, it's Liverpool now.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been living here in the UK?
Since 2006 or 7, so more than half of my life, basically.
So I've been here for 9 years.
More than 7 years now.
Okay. Have you ever experienced any racism in the UK?
No, that's good though. Not yet though.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
And where in the Philippines are you from?
Cebu, taga Cebu.
Laguna, near Manila though.
What's it like being Filipino in the UK?
Very complex question because there's so many layers there. I feel like because of the nature of where we are at the moment, what we were talking about, I think I will gravitate to creativity and being in that space. As a Filipino here doing a creative work, it can be isolating because there's not a lot of Filipinos around me. So I felt like I needed to see more of that. Other than that, the positive thing that I could think about is being here, me being Filipino living here in the UK has also expanded my knowledge and opportunities of the things that I could do that I felt like I couldn't do back home. So that's another perspective as well of how I feel living here.
So, what is life like for you here in the UK?
It's good. Better. Definitely.
And how has it been adapting to UK culture?
Ooh, loaded question. It's been quite tricky coming from growing up in the Philippines, growing up in Manila. There are a lot of similarities just because it is also a metropolis. Manila is also a very, very big metropolis, very dense, but culture is very different. I find people to be very different to what I've gotten accustomed to. You know, the whole classical thing of putting your head down and kind of doing your work, it's fine. But once you kind of stick your head out, sometimes you get caught up in rip currents and stuff, and sometimes it can get pretty dicey and tricky for some people, but we slowly work through it.
And how has it been adapting to the weather?
At first, it's so cold here compared to the Philippines. The weather there is hot. Like the hottest here is the coldest there. So yeah, but there's a lot of clothing here. So yeah.
I think I had to adapt to the weather, like you said. There wasn't a lot of sunshine, so I actually have to take vitamin D in the winter, otherwise I don't survive it.
Do you feel like there's a growing appreciation for Filipino food in the UK?
Yeah. There's a lot of foreign people buying some Filipino stuffs in here. So yeah.
What do you like about the UK?
What I like about the UK is that, as I mentioned before, it's given me a much more wider and diverse knowledge of opportunities that I can do that I felt quite restricted back home. For example, having the belief and the capacity as well to pursue creative arts here, I don't think I would ever think of doing that back home because of the different society and economical constraints. Here I felt like there's a level of fairness to pursue a creative field.
What are some of the things you like and dislike about the UK?
It's like, the weather sometimes it's too cold, but I like it. It's better here, better living. Yeah, the difference is like in the Philippines, you got like neighborhood there, just can go outside your house and then talk to anyone there, and then here you got your own life here, unlike in the Philippines.
And I think there's a lot of Filipino creatives in London, and I love that I just meet them randomly in different events. So I think I love the community here.
And what don't you like about the UK?
I feel like representation is quite low in the UK, even though there are a lot of diverse backgrounds living in the UK. I feel like the representation and what you see visually is just not enough, and it doesn't really like represent or cover or warrant to show all the different ethnicities and different backgrounds that are thriving in the UK.
And I think it's quite easy to make friends in the sense that the English language, I find it's very friendly to start a conversation with a random person in events and things like that. So comparing to where I grew up in Paris, I think that in London it's easier to meet new people.
Do you identify as Asian or Pacific Islander?
I think on paper, I identify and put down as Asian, but I feel like the culture is more of Pacific Islander.
Asian, yeah, Asian. Living in a tropical country, yeah, so yeah, Asian.
On application forms, it's Asian, East Asian, I guess. This because, like I said, I don't take anything against that. Like, Philippines is quite near, or it is in Asia still, right? But at the same time, I understand why Pacific Islander is a thing too, because of the tribes, because of how we do things, because of how certain things kind of come out and how it connects to our culture. But yeah, I'd like to think, I'd like to believe that being considered human is more important than being considered one part of Asia or another part of Pacific Islands, you know?
Do you feel accepted here as a Filipino?
Yes, I feel it, yeah. There's a lot of Filipinos in there, and then we have a lot of friends, foreign friends here, so yeah.
I feel like I'm accepted as who I am. Maybe because I also haven't really had any strong feelings of blatant discrimination, I guess. But I think this is also in my level of understanding, because sometimes I may not be able to gauge or see the overall feelings unless I've been told. So I feel like I'm a little bit, I don't see it as much. So I feel like as how I am, I'm accepted as how I am.
Do you feel accepted here as a Filipino?
Yes and no, I'd say. Yes, part just because of the work that I do. Obviously, it's undeniable. I work in martial arts and I teach Filipino martial arts. Obviously, people would associate me with that. But when it comes to just as a human being, sometimes people don't know where to place me, I guess is what I can say. I'm also somebody who doesn't look traditionally like a Filipino person, right? So yes and no, as acceptance could go. I think it all boils down to how the personality gets accepted or gets received by other people, right? Which type of character I am today, kind of thing.
Is there anything you want to say to Filipinos that are thinking about moving to the UK?
So it's important to retain our principles and our beliefs and core systems, but at the same time, you also have to be curious and open to receive other cultures around you, because you just expand so much more. I can't stress enough how important it is to just assimilate and be present and not just be so focused in what you know. You can just expand so much more and be a better, have a better perspective with life in general.
It's a town which is probably contentious for me to say, but it is a town that values a lot of transactional rather than raw connection, which is something that I feel is one of the most difficult things I've been having to contend with, been having to deal with. I would say if you're able to get through that, then it's not going to be difficult for you to get through living in the UK, living in London.
Do you think you'll stay in the UK long term, or do you think eventually you might move somewhere else?
I can't predict, but I think, yeah, for at least about 5 years, I think I'll be here.
I'd love to be able to find a way to make this a home base, just because of opportunities and people that I get to meet, the diversity in London, because London is basically what I've been living in, or where I've been living in for the last 9 years. I'd love to be able to create that base somehow. But at the same time, yes, I would also want to be able to go back home. But there's also this thing, no matter how hard London's been, there's this determination to be like, I'm not yet finished here. And I still want to be able to keep going somehow and be able to work through the challenges here and be able to find comfort somehow, if ever that is possible in London. But as best I can, I guess, to be able to be a part of a community too, you know.
In Tagalog, how would you complain about the British weather?
Paiba-iba ang weather dito. Yeah, paiba-iba ang weather dito. Yes, 4 weathers in a day.
Hindi siya laging, hindi mahirap pag-isipan kung anong susuotin mo sa isang araw. Dahil lang, hindi mo alam kung anong maabutan mo paglabas. May araw, walang araw. 2 seconds, palit na uli. Bukas, iba na naman. Ano ba na? Ba, ganon.
I don't understand Tagalog, but I can tell that you were saying 1 minute is like this, next minute is like
It's exactly that.
So what is your name and what do you do here?
So my name is VJ Taganahan, and I am a fashion designer.
So I'm Paul. I do my own version of Filipino martial arts called Fluid Tactics. And you guys can catch me on socials at fluid.tactics. And you can also check out some of the YouTube videos that I have in the channel Fluid.tactics as well.